Hello, I'm Elgato, and welcome back to episode of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where I'm playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the Xbox Bedrock Edition now, I guess. Building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. And in today's episode, I'm actually going to be doing some nice productive building. What a lovely change, because I figured I would actually go all the way over to the floating iceberg biomes and work a little bit to use the ice which I've been making in the streams recently. So, if you've been watching the channel a lot in the past week or two, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But second of all, you might have noticed I've been doing a few kind of absurd, like, destruction projects. You know, there's been mining obsidian for a lot of minutes, there's been mining ice for a lot of minutes, and basically I've been in a lot of streams like that. And one of the big questions I get is like, so Cat, why are you doing this? You know, like, Minecraft, you only need like 10 obsidian to make a portal, or you only need like, it's like, like 20 ice to make something fun with. Why do you need several chests full of all these things? It seems a little excessive, as always saying. Yeah, this is a, fairly natural reaction, I guess, but the truth is, the reason we do these sorts of things is because, one, destruction projects are fun by themselves. I think that's something that should be universally agreed on, but second of all, it's because getting a lot of resources allows you to work on some pretty fun projects. And in today's case, again, so recently I did an insane ice farm project, but in today's case, we're going to use all of the packed ice we got from that, turn some of it into blue ice, and help make our crazy, what we're calling a boaterway, a little bit more of reality. So, yeah, before we go there, we're going to work on the nether a little bit, because there is, some gaps that have been made here and there, and yeah, we're going to be just making the nether a slightly more pleasant place, then making the overworld a slightly more pleasant place, because the way my portals link up currently is just not a good thing for anyone, so I'm going to be fixing that by using some more portals, because theoretically, so right here, we've got a portal, right? This portal goes nowhere near the ice islands, the iceberg, the places that I actually want to be in my Minecraft world. Then, a little bit further on the right, just over here, I've got another portal, and it gets a little bit closer, but it's just not good. We just have issues, is my point here, is that's all I'm trying to say, and it's a real problem. So yeah, also, I have another issue, that every time I step out of this portal, I get this real fear of death, that like, oh my god, I almost just died. So, to kind of fix that, I feel like it'd be a good idea. I'm just going to make nice little guardrails here, and maybe even a ceiling. Yeah, a ceiling would be nice, right? Just stop ghasts from being able to attack me and potentially destroy the floor below me, because honestly, that's a little bit scary to me. Maybe I'm the weird one for finding it scary that ghasts might, take me down, but I would rather that they didn't. So that's what we'll be vaguely making happen, and then working on the boaterway today, which is going to be a lot of fun in my opinion. Also, wait, let's fix this gap right here, because the ghast is definitely firing at me, and again, it just makes me nervous, Personally, maybe I'm the weird one, but if you're not protected from ghasts, it's a bad place to be. So let's now talk about what I've been up to in the past week, because if you've never watched Let's Play before, again, 373 is a weird place to start. Also, how did that just happen? Like that, nether portals never make any sense to me. Hey, never make any sense. You get it? High quality toy cat humor again, but no, honestly, nether portals are always one of those, like, big mysteries of Minecraft to me, because they always, there always is a very simple logic to how they should work, and then how they do actually work is always just this, like, question mark kind of thing. So, yeah, basically, while we go today, getting on boatway stuff, let's talk about what we've been up to the past week, because today we are actually going to be, as always, we don't only just do some cool Minecraft stuff, like you might see in live streams, but we talk about what's been going on the past week, and it's kind of like a vlog mixed with a Let's Play. The Let's Play is like the longest running series on the channel, and at least how it used to be. I don't know if Let's Plays are even a thing anywhere else anymore, but yeah, Let's Plays are kind of like an opportunity to not only talk about the game, but talk about everything else that's going on with it, because I don't have like a regular Keeping Up with Toy Cat series besides this one, so that's what this kind of is in its own little way, which is nice in my opinion. So yeah, basically, if you've been curious as to what's been going on in the Toy Cat world, oh, I don't even have a crafting table up here. Good thing I've got myself some wood, although I need that to make a boat, so maybe we should try and find a crafting table first. But in case you're curious what's been going on in the Toy Cat life, so after coming back from Disneyland a couple of weeks ago, it meant that I had like this proper 2-week gap between, the Disneyland thing, and I'm going to Italy for a video, or Switzerland. It's the border between, oh wait, why am I going back in the nether? Why did I just do that? What is wrong with me? Why did, do you ever make mistakes because you're not paying attention? Do you ever have those mistakes be broadcasted in your Let's Play live to the internet? Okay, just me, right? And this time, okay, we've gone through the top one and then fell down somehow. But I guess we're going to go back on the thing, because, I wanted to show you how it worked twice. That's really the reason I did this. So yeah, in the past week, I've been making a lot of videos. I think a lot of really good ones. But the biggest thing to happen this past week, I think I should admit it, is that the video, the communism experiment, like trying to run a Minecraft server like a communist dictator, went absolutely wild. It went from oh yeah, so this video, people kind of liked it, to like it got 1 million views in like a 3-day span, 5 days after it released. It was crazy. A lot of people saw it, a lot of people subscribed, and the channel kind of went from being like, oh yeah, we're doing pretty well for November to like, oh my god, this is the best, most subscribers I've ever gained in a day. And I don't want it to sound too much like bragging. In fact, I mean, I guess no matter how much you talk about it, it's some amount of bragging, right? Because it's something I am proud of that I'm telling you. But honestly, to me, that was a wild thing. Like, oh my god, something, you know, you don't imagine it's too possible. So to see, you know, like something like that happen, especially, you know, this time of year, it was just like, oh wow, that's amazing. And yeah, I just wanted to quickly say, I'm amazed by all the love, the affection, the support, whatever else. And I also just wanted to say that, like, yeah, that's been a big thing that really has, like, improved my mood so much. One of the things about me as a YouTuber or person or whatever is, like, how I'm doing on, like, a YouTube level does actually affect a little bit my overall happiness. That's probably not a good thing. That's probably bad overall, I would say. In fact, definitely that sort of thing. But when things are going well, it's just a nice little side effect. Also, I wanted to boat. We're doing this all slightly wrong. So yeah, basically, I just wanted to say that a video went crazy this week. That's been the biggest event because it's just been kind of like, you know, all over every single social media has been bombarded with people who are like, I saw that video, I'd like to be in this myself. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to join the Discord and ask, like, so where's the communism server at? And it's like, well, this was a past thing, you know, it was a 1-week experiment. And it's like, okay, that's the thing. On Twitter, I've been getting emails non-stop about this one thing. And again, I think that's like one of the prices you pay. Like, on the internet, should we try and take the boat all the way across this? Actually, for fun, let's do that. Then we'll kind of work from where the boat can't get me. But basically, you know, on the internet, it's kind of almost a fair game thing that, like, yep, you're going to be famous for reasons you don't know why. If you try to be famous on the internet, you won't be. And if you try not to be famous, you know, like, you don't get to decide how people like you or why people like you. It's kind of one of the things about... Honestly, I think it's true of human interaction as a whole, but it's especially true on the internet, so it's like, you know, I kind of accept it in some ways. It's also the same reason I don't often pimp my Discord. I don't say, go follow me on Instagram, by the way, because that makes me look good to anyone who, you know, sees that. You know, I don't often do all the sort of things that YouTubers do, because I kind of accept that, like, you know, I like kind of leaving people to be free and do how they want to do things, because then it's more complimentary when they choose to, you know, watch a Toy Cat video. When you chose to click this video, again, Let's Plays are like the videos that do worse on the channel. I market them least. They're not, you know, designed to be the crazy, you know, hit successes or whatever. But when people decide to watch them, that's a lot nicer. It's like you know the famous phrase, like, if you love something, let it free, which I think is, you know, a bit of a weird one because, I mean, most things you love, you probably shouldn't set free. Or, like, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, if you know, like, it's a common thing of, like, oh, if you love someone, let them go free. And it's like, man, if you have, you know, your wife trapped in a cage, you definitely should let her go free. Even if you don't love your wife and she's trapped in a cage, definitely let her out there. That's always been my stance. I'm very anti-locking people up in cages. Definitely pro letting people go free. But, you know, like, when it comes to these sorts of things, and people say that sort of thing, it's like, yeah, you know, if someone uses free will to decide to do something, that means a lot more than if you said, hey guys, while you're at the start of the video, make sure you smash the bell, and, you know, it'd be pretty awesome if you did, you know, you're not very cool if you don't hit the bell, and at the end it says the same, and then, partway in the middle, it's kind of the same thing. It's a bit of a, repetitive, process, in my opinion, and also it's the same sort of thing where, like, after a while, like, it's called, there's a word for it, but if you say the same thing, like semantic overuse or something, it just kind of drowns out. Like, if people know it's not going to be an interesting thought, so they don't listen too much, and it's just something that happens. So, yeah, that's why I never force things on people too much, and it's kind of cool whenever things do go the opposite, like, oh yeah, this is just a fun video that I hope people would like, you know, like, I would really enjoy if they did, but I'm not going to deliberately you know, do something in that way. That's also why I've stated my views on clickbait before. That's like, you know, whenever I try to do clickbait, I try to deliver as hard as I can. I think most people get that and do enjoy that in some way. So yeah, in general, things are going good in the Toy Cat channel, and I'm feeling pretty appreciative of the whole ordeal. And to anyone who has seen a video in the past week, the new kind of format, because that's okay. So on like so besides, you know, like I have been out. I had a friend's birthday, and also went to London to a brand new, like, board game / gaming bar. It was a really fun place, by the way, so I'll mention just that real quick before we go back to YouTube. But, yeah, basically, I went to a gaming bar, and we played this, like, Japanese card game. It's all about building a city, and honestly, just Google Japanese card game building city. It will come up. It's, again, I can't tell you the exact name, but it's English, by the way. Like, I'm not one of those guys who's like, let's play it in the original Japanese script with, you know, because the English version is so bad. No, you're not. English versions of things are pretty great, actually. I'm a big fan of the language which we are speaking and communicating in right now. Funny that. But, yeah, basically, one of the one of the things I did, we went to a bar to play this game, and it's really cool sometimes. Like, a lot of people, most people, in fact, their entire human interaction tree is just like, let's go to a place and just do a thing, and then hope that we have some interesting conversation, meet some people I find interesting, because everyone finds different people interesting, and especially if you're one of those people that believes in, like, the whole, like, oh yeah, there are some people who are definitely cool or less cool, blah, 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 and other people, you know, like, basically, you won't have a good time talking to Ben. Oh, okay, well, I guess we're going down now. I did need to pick up the stone bricks, to be fair. So I guess that's the reason I did this. But, you know, if you're one of those people that believes in that, that's fine. But, you know, like, just conversation by itself, it's not really a whole thing. Like, the idea of a party to me, you know, like the generic one you see in movies or whatever, where it's like, let's just invite people around my house, and then let's talk to all of them, you know, the hundreds of people, one by one, group by group. And it's like, you know, like, talking's good, but what about not talking and playing games instead? You know, the thing I'm doing right now. Actually, I guess I'm talking and playing games, because, you know, games are a good central activity. I think that, you know, playing games is a good way to get to know people. That's why you meet so many friends while gaming. And yeah, basically, we went to a bar, played a Japanese city building game. Again, I like cities too. It was just wonderful. I had a really, really good evening. If you're curious, it's in East London near, I want to say, Wood Lane Tube Station. Boom, now you can go there yourself. And because it's London, you have to remortgage your house to buy drinks or whatever. But, you know, that's just a thing you know if you live in the UK. So, yeah, pro tip, really, really enjoyed the place. Would recommend it to you. It's called, like, Scenario or something like that. No, it's called Server. There's this really weird thing. There's, like, one of the things I'm the biggest fan of in the world is gaming bars are becoming, like, a cool thing now. When I was, like, 12 on the internet, so probably a bit too young for the concept of a bar or whatever, one of the people, like, before YouTube, like a YouTuber, let's say, that I watched, but they weren't on YouTube and still kind of aren't, you know, they started up a gaming bar, and I was like, oh, that sounds amazing, you know, like, I'd really like to go, but obviously it was, like, in Australia or something, and now it's closed down, the original one, which is kind of sad. Where did the boat go, by the way? Oh, it's just, they don't render in. But, yeah, it's kind of sad, it's closed down or whatever. However, it is still, you know, interesting that the idea is, like, coming back now. I mean, sad for the people in Australia that had a bar that, you know, probably lost the law. No! Okay, that's weird that you can fall so much slower than a boat, but let's not question it. Let's just, oh, I'm sinking. Let's just take the boat all the way back to where we need to be. So, but yeah, so staying at least a little bit on thought is just that, yeah, I like the game bars becoming a thing, because I think gaming is a social activity, and, you know, like, you know, if you are the sort of person who also gets drinks, playing drinks and gaming is also a very fun thing to do. So, yeah, 2 thumbs up from Toycat. Did that this week, that was really fun. Also went to a friend's birthday, which was, I would say also very fun, a different type of fun. Again, it's the social, finding people, blah, blah, blah type of fun. Because I have friends that, like, their whole, you know, 2 of the friends at the party, that's why, oh, like, the event, let's call it, it's like, oh yeah, their whole thing is like, I love, you know, finding new people, finding some tiny connection we have in common, and then that can be our whole thing. And I was like, well, I mean, it's great that you think, you know, like, if you're in, because they, you know, they go to their local area, they go to a big place, and then you just start talking to strangers, and, like, work out something in common, like, oh, we went to the same school, or you went to a school that was the rival of our school, or, oh, you know a girl who worked at my workplace 3 years before I did, or, you know, everyone always has a tiny connection with everyone, and it always feels significant, that's why people do it. But, like, the truth is, I don't know if the 6 degrees of, you know, separation is true, that most people are separated from most other people, only by 6 friendship circles, but it's, you know, even if it's not, it's like, yeah, lots of people know lots of people, and because you know lots of people so faintly, it just makes that even less relevant of a thing. Like, this is a controversial belief that I have. I don't think it's a good idea to believe this yourself. Let me clarify. But, you know, I've always been of the impression, like, you know, these people know 100 people, and they're like, yeah, you know, I know some better than others, but they're all people that I'd be down to meet up with. It's like, nah, you gotta have, like, a high-quality circle of friends, in my opinion. That's always been, like, my belief. Again, I know it's, like, just different types of people. Introvert, extrovert, valuing the time, whatever else. It's all different for different people. But I've always been of the opinion that, like, you know, I've always preferred having higher quality, you know, friends, of having large quantities of friends, because what is a friend if not a high quality thing? It's like, you know, there are some types of food that you love any you know, basic level of. Like lasagna, I can buy the cheapest, you know, the microwave meal. They cost like, I don't know how much they cost in bulk, but it's like less than £1 lasagnas. They're amazing to me. Even like the healthy eating ones that are designed to just taste like nothing but vaguely be okay for you. I'm still on board with those. I had a great time eating, you know, any form of lasagna. Just it's all good to me. And that's great. So if you give me 100 lasagnas, I'll eat them all. But some people are like, you know, rather than giving me these 100 lasagnas, how about, maybe, just maybe, you know, we spend a little bit more on each lasagna because I can't eat 100 anyway. And I'm kind of in that category of people, you know, like, you know, there are some foods that you really, really want to have in high quality, and friends are more important than food. So it's going to turn nighttime soon, so we'll just watch the sunset together, and I'll just mention that, yeah, had a good week in general. And the other one thing I want to mention is I got a train home from London this week. You know, I go in and out of, I say into London, but it's like into the centre of London. I know that confuses people, but whatever. I catch a train in and out of the centre of London. And one of the things I did on the way back is I decided to, you know, get some food, because there's a Japanese place that's called Wasabi, in case you're exactly curious about which one. And they do noodles that I just really love. They just gel with me. I like Japanese noodles. They're top tier in my opinion. Oh, Japanese city building and Japanese noodles now. Look at me, I'm basically Japanese. But no, you know, I really love some Japanese noodles. So and they started doing some new ones. It's like Japanese noodles with it's called green curry, the Thai. It's like a Thai curry, but they put it on the noodles, and it's like, you know, curry and noodles, big fan of that too. However, you know, curry and noodles, you know, noodles already kind of smelly because they're hot, but curry and that, it's going to make a smell on a train. So what I decided to do, to be polite, because one of the things I've learned recently is other people are really sensitive about smell. You know, I've never really been too overly caring about, you know, smells that I produce or that others produce, but I realized recently, you know, people are really, you know, caring about this. Let's try my best to be better at not making big smells in public places. So I figured I'll go to a very corner of the train where no one else will be able to smell it because they're all like at least a carriage away. So let me know what the rudeness stats on this is, because this thing smelled to me, the person eating it, like it was just a stench of a food. I'm eating this like in the very corner of the train basically, and then someone gets on, sits directly in front of me, and another person gets on, sits directly like you know, like to the side of me, like on the other side of the train. Am I rude for not, like, packing it away or whatever? Because I have this real, like, internal crisis of, like, man, you sat next to me, this is kind of your fault, but also, this is a public space, regardless of why or who sat there first, it is still rude to do the thing. And it's like, but no, you what do you think? I want your official, because I've said this before, and I will say it again, the Let's Play comments are some of the few comments I do usually read, all of them, because it's usually the smaller selection of people who are, like, interested in caring or whatever they have to say. So what do you think? Is it rude to do that or not? Because like, also, am I like, should I have like stopped? Should I continue? Are they rude for sitting near me because they knew I was eating? What is the scoop with that? Because it's just one of those social situations. I was like, man, I'm gonna keep eating, but I'm sure that some people would say, oh man, that guy, it was so smelly on the train. There was a guy with curry behind me because you sat next to me. There was so many other spaces. It was a fairly empty train. It was like 1 p.m. You know, leaving. You know, like going outbound from London, which is not a very popular time. Most people leave morning or in the, you know, evening rush hour. But long story short, I want to know. I think it's called on Reddit, like, am I the asshole or whatever? But like, AITH, you know, like, am I in the wrong, or is everyone who sat next to me in the wrong? Or maybe no one's in the wrong. You know, that's a happy solution too. We can have a nice compromise. Side note, I think a really cool way to end this would be to go into the jungle. So I'm going to start doing that now. Actually, I'm just going to start going directly forwards here. We'll make a nice barrier over here so I don't accidentally hit something, like, or fall off, I guess I should say. Like, just place some blocks over. Oh, wait, we'll have like a little gap, and then we'll place them over here. So just like this, nice and easy. Just so there's like a little bit of like, oh yeah, you can't just go flying off the edge right there, because like we're gonna have to turn at a really weird angle. Anyway, now let's go this way, and we should make it a lot of the way to the jungle. Or halfway there, maybe. And then we can place the portal in the jungle. And if it connects properly into the overworld, which to the nether, that should be amazing. So, let's talk about YouTube. We got a few minutes left in Let's Play while we place some more blue eyes. Let's talk about YouTube, because I feel like the channel has kind of changed a little bit in terms of some videos. You know, there's a lot of big project videos. You might be curious, like, is that the future of Toycat? Is that, or are you going to upload from now? Or, like, what's the deal with that? And honestly, I really love a lot of the new things we've been trying out, like, you know, the Realm thing where, like, you know, every now and then we're opening for Realm. There will be Realms in the future, by the way. I don't know where or when, you know, if we'll be announcing them or whatever it'll be. But, you know, follow me at IBX Toycat if you want to learn more about the community stuff. There's a lot of, like, fun little ideas that, you know, just, like, I think, like, you know, wouldn't it be fun if we did it like this? And putting a little bit more, like, a lot more time and especially editing and effort, you know, from, you know, Legendary Potato as well. Like, the editor's been a key part in this, but, like, that's been something that I feel like has been a success. And I wanted to mention something that I don't know if many YouTubers admit this, but some people sometimes say, like, hey, Toycat, I think that, you know, like, your videos are clickbait, or I think you're not making this because, you know, like, people come up with all sorts of accusations that, oh, you don't deserve the views you get. Or sometimes it's the reverse, like, oh, you have 800,000 subscribers, or, oh, 900,000 subscribers, which we hit 2 days ago, so thank you very much if you were going to say something nice. And if you weren't, then it's a bit awkward because I already thanked you, so maybe you should say something nice regardless, but yeah, we hit 900,000 subscribers, which is amazing. But some people are like, oh, but you only get this many views. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, if you think there's a correlation between a direct link between subscribers and views, then you do not understand YouTube. In the same way I could say, wow, have you ever noticed how there's 4 channels on TV, but yet Deal or No Deal gets 7 million viewers? And it's like, you just named 2 unrelated facts. Have you ever noticed how there's 365 days in a year, but a lasagna at Iceland costs £1? And it's like, I mean, I guess that takes some of those 365 days in a year to make a lasagna, and therefore that makes it, you know, like sometimes people say stuff, you know, because the problem, in my opinion, in some parts of the world, some parts of, like, life, is people not necessarily knowing what common wisdom is right and wrong. You know, there's a lot of widely spread information is really accurate, really useful, and a lot isn't. I want to say, like, jellyfish stings, you don't on them. You know, like, it's not good. You don't wanna be peeing on any jellyfishes. It's not what you do. All these sorts of things, like, you know, like, when there is widespread knowledge, it's not usually it's like a 50-50 sometimes where it's correct. More is right than wrong. And then some of that, like, just comes into the mainstream. I still remember to this day. So I've got a couple of YouTuber stories, and then we can, because we're going to go back to the overworld and start talking about the next thing we've got to do. Because, you know, this is kind of like working on something that comes from a live stream project. Let me talk about something else that comes from another video project. So, yeah, I have a couple of YouTube stories. I think I might have mentioned this somewhere before. But when I was in school, I was a YouTuber. I don't like telling people. I'm a very private person, maybe, but also YouTuber in particular. And so yeah, there was someone in my school at the same time I was, and I remember, like, we had this whole, like, it's called a form class, so the people who were in my same class to be registered in the morning, etc., etc. So one of the people, I'd known him quite some time. We never really had a direct relationship. Like, it was just a guy I knew, and he was a guy I knew, and you know, it was like a very vague connection. But I'd listen. You know, I didn't like talking to people in this room, but I would listen to some discussions. And someone asked this guy, like, oh, so that has a lot of million views, I heard. That makes, you know, like, what's the deal with that? And he's like, oh, so when you're on Vivo, you get £50 for every 1,000 views or something like that. I heard it from this guy who was a YouTuber. Because there was this YouTuber at my school who, like, made videos about the school and, like, about the dramas in the school. It was the weirdest thing. So he was like the YouTube expo. He's like, oh, I got PayPal'd so much by YouTube. And it's like, man, there's so many things wrong with what you're saying. But, you know, maybe I should have went into correct. Maybe I shouldn't. I still don't know to this day. But that's my favorite example. That's like go-to in my head of, like, man, you're saying so many things that you've heard from no one with authority. You just made them up on the spot. And your brain somehow believes it's real, maybe? Because, you know, like, some people don't even seem to know that they're talking nonsense. It's weird. It's weird to me. But it is what a lot of people do, at least so it seems. So, yeah, fun facts of Toycat. A lot of people, there's a lot of facts out there that are widely spread, that aren't widely known. And just to add to the pile, I'm going to name a bunch of facts right now. Did you know that Netherrack in Minecraft is the least resistant block to TNT in the game? Might be true. Who knows? Came up with it on the spot. Actually, I guess I do know a fair number of things about Minecraft. You know, let's talk about something I don't know. Football in the UK. If you don't know, there's the Premier League is one of the biggest football leagues in the world. In fact, you know, it is the biggest football league in the world. Soccer, if you're in America. You gotta put that accent there, soccer, if you're in America. It's the biggest soccer league in the world. The Premier League, probably. Did you know that the player in the Premier League with the most goals is from Portugal? That might be true. Who knows? I'm gonna just say it anyway, because, you know, I'm on the internet. I don't know, like, I try to be very cautious about what I say, and some people have, like, when you're talking about something you're not in the business of knowing, try to, at the very least, make generalized statements, you know, like, oh yeah, so there's someone in the Premier League being paid lots of money right now. that's true. I know that's true. They make millions, and they're on long year contracts, and people often buy them, whatever. You know, there's there are facts you can get from these things that are true, that you know. But when you start going around with like, oh, I know that someone's well paid, so they probably get paid what, like 50 million a year? That sounds about right. That sounds like a lot of money. I know, it drives me insane. So I have another YouTube story. So on one of the evenings, my friend's birthday, while we're talking to new people, one of the people that we met was actually a social media manager for a huge company. It might come into play in a future video, but so if I'm ever in a car or something, then you'll know that it was because of this one happenstance meeting. But they mentioned they'd known a YouTuber, like met them in a nightclub or something, and they're like, they got to see basically a YouTuber from the side of like an actual bystander that doesn't care about YouTube or whatever. So I found this interesting because I've always been curious about how YouTubers interact with just strangers and also their fans, and also all these sorts of things. And I guess, you always hear like these weird stories secondhand, but I saw like legit texts with pictures with, like there was evidence to back this up. See, I'm telling you this story because I've seen evidence of it. I didn't just hear someone once say, oh, I met the second biggest like YouTuber of this blah, blah, gaming this that YouTuber in the UK or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, so here's a picture, here's the proof that it's really happening, blah 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 blah. And I find that useful personally. I think now my opinion holds a bit more weight. And yeah, just they met a YouTuber and they went on like some dates with them. And basically the YouTuber one was a bit of a like jerk about it. Like the first thing they say to strangers who don't know about the YouTube is, hey, this is my channel, this is how many millions I have or whatever. So I find that fascinating. Second thing was that he was a sugar daddy. Like, I guess if you're a rich 20-something-year-old, like, why not become a rich type of, like, why not just, I mean, actually, there's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't, but, like, if you're, it's interesting to me, the idea of just being like, oh, I'll pay for you to come here, or, like, their first date was in a Lamborghini, because, like, I guess he has one, or, how many YouTubers are there in the UK of Lamborghinis? That might be narrowing it down. Or maybe it wasn't a Lamborghini, it was some expensive car, but my story was just that, like, oh, some YouTubers can be jerks, and I guess that's acceptable for them. If it works for them, it works for them in general. And, but that's something I don't know if I could ever quite see, just like, oh, meet strangers, tell them about your YouTube. Because it's funny, because some people are like that, while I'm the exact opposite. And it just made me realize that, like, oh, in the same way I spoke about how everyone has a social spectrum, like, things that they like most about people and stuff and whatever, I guess, YouTubers have the same thing. Some people love that their YouTubers want to be public, want fame, want money, want attention, all these things, are willing to spend lots of money to get it. And some people are the opposite. And I guess it's okay to be anything on there. Like, I guess, let's turn this into a nice motivational message. Never think that there is an ideal way to be. You might think there's like, oh, there's this coolest thing, because of course there are cool people that do a thing. But just, is the sun, we went steep over there. Ah, that's what clearly happened. But yeah, to end this with a nice motivational message, I would say there are lots of times where you'll believe you're on the entire wrong end of something, and there are some very specific situations where, yeah, being on the crazy deep end of something that hurts other people or yourself. But if you do something that doesn't hurt people and, like, I guess makes you feel interesting, good, whatever in some way, you can be that terrible way, or that less terrible way, or you can be good, or you can be bad, whatever it takes to make you feel happy in the morning and the evening, and while playing Minecraft like we did today. So thank you very much for watching today's episode of the Minecraft Let's Play. For Q&A Saturday, you'll probably see me start to destroy that mountain, because honestly, this is driving me a bit crazy. So I need to get a bucket of milk, I know. I got to deal with that. But this, I've got every block in Minecraft, at least according to my own conditions. I missed Netherrack, which was a big embarrassment, but we've got all the blocks now, I believe. But now you can't see them all properly because of that damn mountain, so we're going to have to destroy that mountain. It's going to be great, and yeah, you can expect to see that in the future. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching today's video, today's Let's Play. You can like it if you did like it, share if you really liked it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, so when I meet people the first time, I can show them how many followers I have, and they'll maybe like me, and then I could pay a lot of money for them to come meet me, so that I could show them my expensive car. You can you also make sure you check out. Honestly, the one thing I would recommend is follow on Twitter. If you're scared about YouTube, or like you worry that YouTube doesn't show the right amount of stuff at the right time, because YouTube notifications are notoriously questionable. Twitter is a good way to get notifications, but also I would say like less sensationalized titles, because Twitter click-through rates don't matter, but on YouTube it does, which is why the new videos on YouTube are sometimes like I guess the most sensationalized version, but it's always a legit non-clickbait, I would say. So yeah, just long story short is follow on Twitter if you want to see the rest of stuff, and follow me on Instagram so I can brag to other people when I meet them. And I guess I'll see you all. And I keep saying that, but you can follow me on Instagram, by the way, if I don't care or use it very much. But it seems to be the cool social media, so yeah, that's the social media that exists solely to make me look good. So go follow me, I guess. Goodbye.